Slide do buckaroos. How the heck are you? Welcome to Cocktail Hour with the Whiskey Whisperer. Here's what I got. I got a couple products. Kind of, I don't know if I invented this or I'm not sure if it's out there or not. It should be. It's rather simple, but nevertheless, I mean, if folks at Watershed want to steal this idea, they're more than welcome to. I know they make their own Applejack, but I just wasn't able to buy it at that moment. I didn't see it. Anyways, nevertheless, Watershed Distillery straight bourbon whiskey, finished in apple brandy barrels. This is their 4-year-old at 90 proof. Let me show you that bottle. So I've got 2 ounces of that particular whiskey, and I've got 1 ounce of some Laird's Bottled and Bond Applejack. And then I have a cinnamon stick for a garnish here. I didn't add any additional bitters, although you could. I have cardamom bitters, but I don't have them here with me. And I have some ginger bitters, which I think would have worked too, but again, I didn't have them here. But I kind of wanted to have it as purest form, right? So the cinnamon stick, why the cinnamon stick? Well, because the cinnamon stick is a nice garnish, but it also imparts flavor very, very slowly. The longer I let this sit in here, the more cinnamon it's going to impart. But I've got this apple brandy finished whiskey. And then the Applejack. So I know the cinnamon should work very well, but I don't want a lot of cinnamon. I want to kind of slowly impart, just add to the aromatics a little bit, just in a very subtle manner. Oh my God, that's delicious. So I do want to get to this cocktail because I have it chilled. I have it served straight up, if you will. But I also have some of this product on its own on the rocks. So I don't want too much water. I haven't tried. So here's the thing. Usually when I have a product for the first time, I have it on the rocks and I have it neat, and then I put it in a cocktail at a later time. But I cocktailed it first the other day doing this exact cocktail I'm having with you. But I haven't tried it rocks or neat yet. So I do want to get to rocks here before too much water gets in here. I will tell you, I really like Watershed Distillery and their products. Love their restaurant too. I mean, their restaurant is, oh man, it's next level, baby. It's next level, man. No, it was really good, man. It really was. Wife and I shared a tasting menu, and God, it was insane. And I had their barreled old-fashioned, which was, again, next level. Anyway, I wanted to try this. I haven't tried it neat yet, and typically I would try it neat before rocks, but I didn't want any more water to get in here, so I'm going to drink it on the rocks first to kind of get an idea what she's doing. Because I have it chilled. I do feel those apple notes. I do feel a lot of oak, a lot of vanilla. Now I want to get to my cocktail because, again, I don't want to warm up. I do have it nice and chilled. Much in the way that you would serve a Manhattan, let's just say. So I have some of their Nocino that I've used for another cocktail. And I thought about adding it here, but then I didn't, because I wanted to have it. I made this exact cocktail the other day, and I wanted to kind of recreate it. But now that I'm sitting here, the apple. So I made a cocktail using their Nocino with another one of their whiskeys, but I haven't used the Nocino with this. Nocino being a black walnut flavored liqueur, but having this with that apple brandy, I'm thinking, boy, that just a little bit of that Nocino, that black walnut would really go in a direction, man. I'm really no, I need to try something else. But anyway, for this particular video, some of my mind goes in a different direction, as you can see. But being somewhat of a purist, I do like to keep my cocktail simple. So I've got 1, 2, 3 ingredients, including the garnish. If I would add the Nicino, it's 4, and that's typically as much as I like to do. Being a bartender. I'm a bartender. The funny thing about that is I came to being a bartender later in life, if you will. I didn't start becoming a bartender until I was 58. Now they kind of give me carte blanche. I'm inventing cocktails. I'm formulating recipes. And, man, I'm running a cocktail program. It's just a lot of fun, man. It just took me a long time to find out where I really belong. I'm going to set this to the side for a second, and I'm just going to taste my neat, because I'm curious now, because I haven't tried this product neat at all. Now I'm having it here with that Laird's, the cinnamon stick, and I had it cold. Wow, that is something. The nose is great big, I will tell you. I'm going to read a little bit from the back of their bottle. To create this balanced blend, we finished hand-selected bourbon whiskey in barrels previously used to age apple brandy and combine it with straight bourbon whiskey, yielding an unparalleled, expertly balanced drinker's experience. Our careful blending and layering of flavors builds unique complexity, bold flavor, and a rich mouthfeel. We hope you enjoy sipping it as much as we enjoyed creating it. Yeah, so far so good. I've loved everything I've had from them at this point. Oh my God. This one at 90 proof is oh my gosh, it is extremely approachable. You do feel those apple notes right near the end, which is interesting. One thing I will love about this one, I'm going to talk about aromas and flavors later, but I want to go right to the end and talk about the viscosity, mouthfeel, texture. It just feels good. It tastes good. It lays right. It comes together just how you want it to. I feel that bourbon complexity and sweetness early on, right? A little bit of very dark brown sugar because you feel some molasses. You might even get just the slightest hint of maple in there as well, which is very interesting. But then you feel those apple brandy or applejack notes. A little bit of apple. And I'm guessing you're probably picking up some spice from the barrel because you feel some cinnamon, some allspice, maybe just the slightest notion of ginger as well. So I'm going to put my neat off to the side because I got to tell you that's incredible. Because I don't want my cocktail to get any warmer, but I needed to know what that was because this is the second time I've made this exact cocktail. But I hadn't tried the base spirit yet, so. Getting it cold kind of changes it a little bit. Not necessarily for better or worse. It's more about perspective. So in a cocktail like this, definitely better because you do want a cocktail like this cold. So it gets those notes right where you want them to be, right? It makes those notes a little sharper. It really brings those apple notes to the surface because I'm using that apple brandy. But now that I know that this has pronounced apple notes as well, I know the apple notes that I'm getting are not just from the apple brandy. I know my cinnamon stick is imparting some cinnamon, but now that I've tasted that base spirit, I also know that the spirit itself has some spice notes to add, of course, the oak, the vanilla, etc. Now, for me, I'm not crazy about a really sweet drink, so for me, I like this as is. But I am curious to try to almost to do this, that, and then add the Nocino to it to add that black walnut to the apple and the apple brandy whiskey. I'm really curious about that, to be honest with you. That's going to be my next cocktail now that I've had this. I guess, okay, I got to add the Nocino to this just to see, because I'm really curious at this point. Man, that's just delicious. I got to tell you, I tried. There was another distillery in Columbus that I didn't get to, so I'm not going to mention the name. But I got to Endeavor Brewery and Distillery. I bought a bottle of their malt whiskey, which is incredible. I got to Echo Spirits. I bought a couple bottles from them that are amazing. And then Watershed. So if you get a chance to get to Columbus, Ohio, I'm telling you, you're not going to go wrong. This stuff is amazing. My wife just got home, so don't tell her what I said. Let's keep that between us, man. I was trying to wrap up before she got here, but you can't rush a cocktail like this, man. I think she's on the phone with her daughter because she's yapping, so she hasn't heard a thing I've said yet. Gosh, that's good. Nevertheless, yeah, it was interesting. So now that I've had that base beer, because I was getting some flavors here, and now that I've had the base beer, so okay, that makes sense now. Anyways, I digress. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor. I'm going to pull that cinnamon stick out to make it easier to drink the rest of this. Goodness, that's delicious. Anyway, one more time with feeling. I'm Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor with demand. All right, good guys. Lots of thanks, guys.